Cost volume analysis in location planning is based on choosing a location through fixed and variable costs. You can tell that this problem is essentially cost volume analysis problem because that is what it's discussing concerning these two locations. A manufacturing firm is considering two locations for a plant to produce a new product. Location A has a fixed cost, right, this is the information that we need, has a fixed cost of $80,000 and a variable cost of $20,000, while location B has differing costs, a fixed cost of $120,000 and a variable cost of $15,000. The firm plans to manufacture 20,000 units a year. Where should the plant be located? Notice that what we're going to do is just pick between these two locations, location A versus location B. Pick based on what? The only thing we're told about is cost, so we will pick based on which one's the lowest cost, which means the only thing we need to do now is calculate the cost of locating at either place. I highly recommend a table. This type of problem, it is helpful to just organize into a table. Location A, right, my table, this will be the fixed cost, has the fixed cost of $80,000 and it has the variable cost, variable of $20 a unit. Location B is the one with the higher fixed cost, $120,000, and a variable cost of $15,000. We need to pick between these two based on what? The volume, which is right here. Okay. One at a time. Cost of A. Well, if we were to locate at location A, we would pay $80,000 a year regardless of what we did there. That's the meaning of a fixed cost. We would also pay $20 per unit for each unit that was manufactured there, and the problem told us that that would be $20,000 a year. Combine these two, that's the total cost at that location. I did that and my calculator showed that it was $480,000 combined fixed versus variable cost. Let's just repeat this process for location B. Location B, right from my notes, has the fixed cost of $120,000. So that means you pay that every year regardless of what you do. Has the variable cost, it's lower than location A, of $15,000 per unit. What would its overall cost be if it were manufacturing that same $20,000? All right, well, I added that up and I got for location B $420,000 annually. The question is asking, which of these two locations should you pick? Well, it's logic. You should pick the one with the lower cost. So we see that here it's location B has the lower cost. That's the actual answer to the question, not so much the $420,000. To reply to the question, we reply location B. Now, if you look, this next problem here, a manufacturing firm is considering two locations for a plant. These are the same two locations. Location A has a fixed cost of $80,000. Right, this is the same parameters as up here. Location B and a variable cost of $20,000. But the question's different. Next, it's asking, what is the point of indifference between the two locations? Important vocabulary term. Point of indifference for a decision maker, that's the point of which the decision maker wouldn't care which of, like, say, two options to pick. They would be indifferent between the two. Well, why would you be indifferent between these two locations? Think you're judging them on cost. So you'd be indifferent, like you wouldn't care if they cost the same. We need to look for the point at which location A and location B would cost the same, so it wouldn't matter which place you were at. We can actually do that fairly easy, just piecing that together algebraically. I think, okay, when would I not care whether I was at location A versus location B? Well, if I was at location A, over here, I would pay $80,000 a year regardless of what I did. I'd also pay $20, right, per unit for everything I produce there, and I don't know in this particular problem how much we're going to produce. But I am interested in, and this is the mystery, so I'm putting an X there, exactly what amount would that be that it would happen that the whole bill at location A would be exactly the same thing as the costs incurred at location B, which would be $120,000 of fixed costs plus $15 a unit. But there we go, we've just spelled it out algebraically. When would the cost at this location balance the cost at that location? Then you'd be indifferent, you wouldn't care. Well, all right, well, let's see. That is 5x equals 40,000, right? Just some algebra here. X equals 40,000 divided by 5. X equals 8,000. There's the answer. That's the point of indifference. It's a production level. If we were producing precisely 8,000 units a year, we wouldn't care whether we were at location A or location B. That's the point of indifference. We wouldn't care because it would cost precisely the same in either case.